Welcome, Internet, to the Pixel Play Podcast, your weekly podcast where we get together to discuss all the news, rumors, and discussions going on in the video game world. I am one of your co-hosts, Kaylan, aka Ktastrophy, joined this week by Liv, host of Between Two Gamers. That's right, folks. Adam this week is gone under witness protection or sick or something. I didn't really listen to what he said. But we have our wonderful guest co-host joining us, Liv from Between Two Gamers. You might remember her. She was here a little while ago. Liv, thank you for joining us again.
Yeah, thank you for having me back. I'm excited today to talk about all things PlayStation at the Game Awards.
Yeah, you're giving away the lead. So this week, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about PlayStation coming to battle with Game Pass on the Xbox with their own new planned service. We're going to be talking about the new location hinted at for the fourth installment of BioShock. And we're going to be talking about the rumors and discussions going on with the Game Awards this week. So yeah, I'm excited to talk with you about that, Liv. So yeah, why don't, just in case, someone hasn't heard from you before on the show, give a quick rundown of who you are, what you do, where they can find you, all that fun stuff.
Hi, I'm Liv. I am one of the co-hosts of Between Two Gamers with my great friend Frui. We're in different time zones, so he is asleep right now. But we started that as a passion project last year, and if you want to find Between Two Gamers, you can find us on all major podcasting platforms in our link tree, or if you want to watch me individually, you could look me up at Obuyer10, which is also on our Between Two Gamers link tree.
Yeah, fantastic. We've watched you, Adam and I, as the two Canadian, hosts of this podcast. We were watching you play Civ and just kind of, learning the hostile nature that is the great nation of Canada.
Okay, look, here's the problem. What happened was they settled and cut me off of the rest of the continent, and I needed that area to secure myself. I can't be attacked from all sides, so I was like, hey, you want to move? And he said no. So I said, Canada, you gotta go. So then we were playing with the zombie apocalypse mode on. So every time you killed a unit, a zombie would spawn. So between the zombie outbreaks, trying to conquer Vancouver was specifically the problem. It took like a month to do, playing once a week. It was just constant, okay, Canada, you gotta move. But it got taken care of. The zombie apocalypse has been nullified. It's all good.
Well, I mean, that's wonderful to hear, and sorry that you discovered our zombie problem that we, keep hidden from the rest of the world. But yeah, the secret is out. It is a big problem. So, other than Civ, what have you been playing lately?
I've been playing Road 96 this week, which is a game that I started to play, but then too many things came out near it, and I'm loving Road 96. Have you heard of this game?
No, this is all new to me.
Okay, so it's an indie game. It came out in August, and it's about a politically torn country where teens are mysteriously disappearing. So the country on the other side of the border is supposedly not tyrannical, so you are trying to hitchhike or get your way across the border, and you could play very violently. You can play trying to influence the upcoming election, or you could just take the high road and care about yourself. So there's a lot of different people you meet along the way. And for as serious as a topic it is, there's a lot of mini games where you can go to a carnival and gamble and play arcade games. It really does a great job of balancing out serious topics with lighthearted moments. So if you're looking for a choice-based game that has tons of endings, that is a great indie game.
Awesome. And that's Route 96?
Road 96.
Road 96. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, that sounds awesome. Definitely something I'll have to check out. We're still playing Skyrim, both my wife and I here at the house, both of us for the first time. Yeah. I don't know if you've been following along with the escapade. My wife is psychotic when it comes to Skyrim. She is not interested in fighting dragons, not interested in the politics of Skyrim, not interested in anything but just acquiring all the wealth that she can. So she is literally going across the whole area of Skyrim, and literally if it says press X to collect, she is, and then she goes to sell it at markets for whatever. And she's gotten to the point where, twofold: one, markets no longer have any money, so she has nobody to sell anything to. Two, she's basically keeping two companions solely for the purposes of mules.
Yep.
And I'm trying to watch her play, and she plays in third person, which blows my mind. I'm playing it in first person.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, you can play it in third person. So yeah, she's playing in a third person sense. And it is asinine to watch her play because she'll ask me to like help her out. And normally when you're playing video games, like you're looking straight ahead along the horizon, seeing what's coming up. She is looking at the ground the entire time that she walks. So that way she can make sure that she sees everything. And so, yeah. And it's gotten to the point she's realized that she has now sold some quest items that she apparently needed. And so now she needs to figure out which shop has the item that she needs and sold it to. So now she is going around and asking every vendor, did I sell you? I think it's like one of the dragon claw door key things. So yeah, we've affectionately named her Jenny Bezos because she now owns everything in Skyrim and everyone works for her. So
respect. I love the loot goblin grind. I also click X on everything.
That's her. Like legitimately, she has like 150 thistles. No idea what she's doing with it, but she just knows that she can hold it. And she basically her whole thing is she's going from room to room, gets everything overcumbered, drops everything, goes to the next room, collects everything again. It is brutal to watch.
If I could click X to interact, I've done it. I've done it.
You know what? You and her, you guys would get along great with your psychotic, tendencies.
I must click on everything. Yes, yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Anyways, let's jump into it. I think one of the biggest stories of this week is the idea that PlayStation is coming to play and battle against Xbox in their Game Pass atmosphere. So this is coming from Bloomberg. Jason Schreier broke the story. PlayStation plans new service to take on Xbox Game Pass. So he writes, Sony Group Core's PlayStation division is planning a new subscription service to compete with rival Microsoft Core's popular Xbox Game Pass, according to people familiar with Sony's plans and documents reviewed by Bloomberg. The service, codenamed Spartacus, will allow PlayStation owners to pay a monthly fee for access to a catalog of modern and classic games, said the people, who asked not to be identified because they weren't authorized to speak to the press about the plans. The offering will likely be available on the smash hit PlayStation 4, which has sold more than 116 million units, and its elusive successor, the PlayStation 5, which launched more than a year ago but is still difficult to buy due to supply chain issues. When it launches, expected in the spring, the service will merge Sony's two existing subscription plans, PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now. They go on to write, details on Spartacus may still not be finalized, but documentation reviewed by Bloomberg outlines the service with 3 tiers. The first would include existing PlayStation Plus benefits. The second would offer a larger catalog of PlayStation 4 and eventually PlayStation 5 games. And the third tier would add extended demos, game streaming, and a library of classic PS1, PS2, PS3, and PSP games. Representative for PlayStation didn't immediately respond to a request for comments. So, Liv, first of all, my question to you is, do you think that this service will compete with Game Pass?
I think the biggest thing is finally combining PS Plus and PS Now, because I don't think they should be separate services.
Mm-hmm.
So just having that just makes so much more sense. And then competing with Game Pass, I think that what Xbox is doing with Game Pass makes a lot of sense. Like everyone who that has it is happy with it. So to offer a service that is similar for your exclusive games makes sense to do. So I like that they're adding PSP games. If that is true, that sounds great. Like, will I be able to play the Uncharted game that's only on the PSP? The one Uncharted game that I haven't played yet? Like, that is... Why was that only an exclusive to the PSP or the PS Vita, rather?
Yeah.
I think it was the Vita.
PS Vita.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Golden Abyss. Fantastic game.
Yeah, like, I've never played it because I never owned that. So, like, I'm hoping that those games that were locked to an old console but never got either ported or remastered or offered through this service, because that's what people want.
Yeah, I think I like what they're doing. I don't know if it's necessarily going to compete with Game Pass, simply because Game Pass seems to be having a lot more like the day and date sort of releases. Like, you want to play, Halo, it's available on Game Pass. You want to play Starfield, it's on Game Pass. Like, the day and date stuff is something that I think PlayStation's lacking, and I think will kind of hinder it a bit. Although I know there is more clamoring for PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and PS3, PSP games. So, like, that's great. I think the fact that it's like a tiered system, though, is also going to be kind of annoying.
Well, Xbox is, technically.
The Game Pass?
Xbox, you could pay for Xbox Live, or you could play for Ultimate, where you get it, like, with your PC and console.
True. That's a very fair point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like I'm looking at some of the stuff and like the fact that like extended demos are at the highest tier. Like I don't know. I feel like if that was me, I would put that at the bottom tier. Like you figure you'd want people playing demos in order to buy your game. I don't know. It just seems weird to do that. And like I don't know. Like to have like it seems weird that the PlayStation 1, PS2, PS3, and the demos are all there. And game streaming, like I don't know. How does that sort of like we kind of already have that, don't we?
So for Xbox Game Pass, you technically don't have to download a game as long as it's on the cloud. So what I do,
Yeah.
I don't have an Xbox console, but I pay for Xbox Ultimate because my girlfriend's an Xbox person. So we play through that. So and I have a lot of like Steam games and the stuff I stream with on my computer, so I don't want to download all the games. So I just log into like the cloud on a Google Chrome and I stream the games like that. So I would imagine that they would possibly be bringing that, and that would make sense because they're moving a lot of PlayStation games to PC anyway. So I feel like they're opening the door with that.
No, I think that's definitely a very strong point. I think it's going to be interesting to see, what PlayStation 5 games are going to be coming to the system and like how current that's going to be. And I think that's going to be the key distinguisher between Game Pass and PlayStation. And like we talked about,
one or not.
Exactly. And also the price. Like if you're paying the same price for the top tier, PlayStation Spartacus, whatever the heck it's going to be called, and you're not getting those damn dates compared to Xbox, I think that's going to be the key point as well. Like if it's drastically more expensive, I think that's going to be a huge issue there. So
yeah,
like, but I kind of like it though. Like the one thing I've always kind of been skeptical about with Game Pass is that right now Xbox is in a loss leader sort of situation. Like they are, I'm sure, not making a lot of money with their Game Pass, and they're just getting those subscriptions and getting people in. So I don't think we know yet what the true final cost is of Game Pass. And the other thing that I kind of worry about, like, and I've talked about this before on the show, that my concern that with things going immediately to live streaming or to like just on demand sort of services like this and not having those game sales, is that how does that affect and implement the revenue streams of those games? Like if you think of something like Ghost of Tsushima or Last of Us Part 2 or like those big Sony PlayStation games, like they bank on the fact that they are going to get a large return on investment from people buying the games. And my concern with something like a Game Pass is that you lose that area and you just get people on subscription base and they might subscribe only for a couple months and then they're gone again. And so I kind of worry how that impacts the funding and the development of games based on a revenue perspective, and whether you see more and more, not nefarious, but you see more and more like microtransactions and fee to pay kind of experiences within it. Like I know Halo multiplayer is free, but now there's like the battle pass and the season pass you have to pay for and stuff. And so I don't want that to become the norm, that you get into the games for free, but then there is that microtransactions going in, and that's something that does kind of concern me, because I do like the fact that generally with PlayStation games is that you pay for them and there is very little to no financial transactions required in the game.
Yeah,
because I've seen like reports that like Naughty Dog is like posting for positions of I forget what the term was, but it was basically someone in charge of like in-game purchasing design or something like that. And that's not what I want from those high-end level experiences. Like I feel like when you get to the streaming service level, that's where you start getting to a race to the bottom, and it's not necessarily about like having the most quality, but having the most quantity. And that's just not where I want gaming to go.
As a rule of thumb, if I play like a free game, I do not spend money on the cosmetics or something. Like I have a stupid amount of hours in Rocket League, but I will not buy the battle pass for Rocket League. Like I just like, if the game is free, it's free, and you can go get someone else's money. Like that's not, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, because I saw something, I forget who reported it, but someone added all the cosmetics up like for their value for Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Or no, Marvel's Avengers.
Avengers, yeah.
Yes, and it was like $3,000.
Yeah.
For you to like have a costume. I was just like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And so I just, it's going that way because there's people that are like, oh, the game's free, so if I spend a little money on it, it's okay. And that's where they get you. You put a little in, and all of a sudden, like you're spending way too much money. So I just don't put money in for free games.
Yeah, no, and but I think that's kind of like what my concern is with these streaming services. And granted, I've told Adam this before. I am an old man. Like I like my physical games, and like I'll definitely check this out. But it's not the way I want to be playing my big Sony exclusives.
Yeah, I actually have the digital PS5 just because I usually either want to download it the day before, so when the second I don't gotta wait for downloads. Like when The Last of Us Part 2 dropped, I was downstairs at 12:01 and I stayed up and I played it. Like if I had to go pick it up the next day, I could have saw so many spoilers during. Like, I would have killed me. But I understand there's like a want to have the physical disc as well, but there
Yeah.
are. Do you think it's weird? I have a question for you.
Mhm.
Do you think it's weird that games like it's maybe I don't know if it's pandemic related but this year a lot of games have released digitally and then said the physical game is coming later. Examples: Kena Bridge of Spirits, Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition, Life is Strange. Like, why is that happening? Do you think it's pandemic related, or is this something that we can be like expecting?
I think it is definitely pandemic related. I think there's like a multitude of reasons for this. Definitely pandemic related. Like everything is having a hard time getting from manufacturer to consumer, and so I think it's easier just to say, yeah, it's on the server, good to go, whatever, it's done. I think though it's also a great low risk way of selling, not like, because it's hard when you make a physical game, you have to forecast how many you think you're going to need, how many you're going to have, and then you run the risk of overproducing and then having to discount, and then that brings down the cost of your game, right? If you have 60 copies of Marvel's Avengers sitting on EB Games or GameStop's book like shelf, it's not going to look good, and like it's going to bring down the price. Whereas you put it on a server, you don't have any manufacturing costs on it, and you don't have to worry about like overproducing and paying for building or manufacturing copies that you don't necessarily need. Yeah, and I think it's just a low risk way of them to just say, hey, here's the game, it's good to go. But I think primarily, I don't think this is going to be a trend. I think this is just a result of like the pandemic and the shortages and like all the manufacturing and shipping costs, because everything's getting affected by that.
Yeah, I didn't think of it that way.
So yeah, I mean, frankly, for me, I went with the physical version just because I like the ability. One, I like collecting the games, like that's what I collect it. But it's also I found this year with Black Friday pricing that a lot of the stores had physical copies at far better prices than what the PlayStation store did.
Yeah.
And so for me, I like the fact that there's not that monopoly that PlayStation can be like, yep, you're going to buy it from us. We know that. So we don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, we'll charge you whatever we want.
Yeah. Did
But
you
I mean,
buy
that's
any
just,
games on Black Friday?
I bought It Takes Two because I figured I could, whenever my wife escapes the class of chasing the dragon that is Skyrim, I can maybe convince her to play that game.
Yeah.
And I bought Hot Wheels Unleashed because
Oh.
I have a 2-year-old son and he is obsessed with cars, and I thought this was a good little gateway game to get him into video games. And so obviously he's not playing, but honestly, it's the best. He loves to sit on my lap and just watch me play, and it's the best. Like he holds the case and he'll look at it like a book, and then he'll bring it to me and he'll point at the TV. So like it's a good way for me to kind of get him into like watching and playing video games with me. And then I hope, hint hint nudge nudge family, that someone got me Guardians of the Galaxy for Christmas.
Okay.
So that's what I bought / hope I got. So what about you?
Okay. So I picked up Death Stranding Director's Cut, and that has been a lot of time passes in that game. So I played Death Stranding on the base PS4 when it first came out, and it was super beautiful. And I wanted there to be photo mode, but by the time I finished the game, they added it after, and I was like, I'm not jumping back in. Too much going on. But I'm playing it so differently. I'm taking my time because I know the story now. Like in Death Stranding, you're like, what is happening? I don't understand. I just want to get to the end. And I made the game so much more difficult for myself, not putting time into building the highway. Like, the highway goes on for a long time if you build it. So, like, I'm spending time actually building stuff in the game, and I'm having so much more fun the second time around into Death Stranding. So if anyone is like, this game's boring, it's empty. No, you're just not building things, and you're not taking your time. slow down, enjoy the view, and listen to the music in the music room because it's a good time.
See, Death Stranding is one of those games that I never gave time to. And I have a very weird relationship with Kojima because, like, I love what he does for the industry. I love his excitement, but I don't understand him at all or what's going on. Like, granted, I never grew up playing like the Metal Gear games, and I got into Metal Gear at like Metal Gear Solid 4, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, I have no idea. So for me, I've never been a fan of Kojima games. Love Kojima and once again and what he does and his excitement and stuff, but I don't get his games, and so I was like, I don't think this game is for me. Like, too convoluted. I have no idea what's going on. I'm out. So maybe like when that game gets down to like $20, I'll grab it. But
It's really nice on the PS5. Like the haptics, I really like it.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, the sound design's great. But if you go and you just do the main missions and you try to like get from A to B, you're missing a lot of what's going on, and the lore actually extends. So it actually makes a lot of sense to like play slow, enjoy the ride. And at first, I did not do that at all. Second time, I'm like, this game's really good. Like, I just didn't play it correctly.
I feel like that game is. I feel like from what I've heard, like, the game is very frustrating in terms of like what you have to do, and it doesn't sound fun. Am I misunderstanding the game?
Well, a lot of people just say you're a postman, which is like fundamentally true, but it's also about bringing people back together. And like, I'm just such a big fan of photo mode, and it's like I love taking pictures of video games, but also like it's a single player game, but it's really a multiplayer game because you share a server with people, so like you could donate to other people's structures and like it's stuff like that. But like if you just want like a chill game where you just like it doesn't matter like the pacing that you're playing at, because there's a lot to do. And then they added a go-kart racing place, which I haven't unlocked yet because I'm just taking my time, but it's just something like nice to chill, wind down game. If you're not sitting here like trying to figure out what's going on, like you'll get there when you get there, and it will make more sense if you just take your time.
Fair enough. I'm glad to know that in the post-apocalypse go-karts and go-karting,
haven't
survives.
Unlocked it there, but maybe in like 20 more hours later.
Awesome. Let's shift over to BioShock. So this is coming from Eurogamer. Next BioShock setting and time period detailed in new reports. This is coming from Matt Wales. He writes, as spotted by VGC journalist Colin Moriarty relayed fresh details on 2K Games' next BioShock project, previously confirmed to be in development at new studio Cloud Chamber as part of his latest Sacred Symbols video. In the video, Moriarty cites sources claiming Cloud Chamber's take on BioShock will unfold in a fictional Antarctic city sometime during the 1960s, which Eurogamer also understands to be true from its own sources. This, of course, would make its events approximately concurrent with those of BioShock 1 and 2, which deal with the downfall of Andrew Ryan's underwater dystopia of Rapture. Moriarty believes the new BioShock city will be called Borealis, and that the game's narrative will connect to previous series entries. Moriarty adds that Clan Chamber has been given incredible latitude to get the new BioShock right. Apparently, the inclination there is that they understand full well that the game will be compared to what the original BioShock creator Ken Levine does. And on the subject of Levine, whose major game release was BioShock in 2013, Moriarty claimed Take-Two will also be publishing his next project currently in the works at Ghost Story Games. I also kind of was reading about it, and they were talking about there's an idea that it might be open world, there might be factions. Liv, what's your history with BioShock?
I definitely claimed the collection on PS Plus.
So we got a super fan here.
So this is a game that like people have recommended that I would play, but just there's so many games, too little time. Like, so this is something that people have told me that I would like if I sat down and play it, but I just haven't yet. But I know that people have been like waiting for BioShock news, so I feel like this is a crumb for people that want to be hopeful.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend at least the first BioShock. Like that first BioShock is, one of the most, not to sound hyperbolic or anything, but it is one of like it is a very significant game in like gaming history. And I would highly suggest playing it. Like narratively, it's great. It's got some very interesting philosophy to the game. And the gameplay's fun as well. So yeah.
So you're looking forward to this one?
You know what? I am mixed fans when it comes to BioShock. I love the first one. The second one I never played because nobody played it. And I played BioShock Infinite, and I felt it was good, but it never captured the same spirit as the first one did. Personally. Now, I think for this one, I'm kind of excited to see where they kind of go with it. In the sense that I think it's really cool doing it in Antarctica and doing like factions. It's really interesting the ideas that they can go, and it'll be all dependent on what sort of philosophy that they had. What I would kind of like to see happen with this game is I'd almost like to see. So in the original BioShock, you played Coming to Rapture after everything fell apart. So there was sort of a internal strife going on within BioShock, like within Rapture, and it all kind of fell apart, and you kind of get there in the aftermath to find out what happened. And it would almost be very interesting to see what would happen in a situation where you are part of the civilization and you are watching it fall apart, as it falls apart in front of you. So like different factions and sort of you deciding having to make choices, and especially being in Antarctica is very inhospitable, and so there could be like that battle of like fighting over resources, territory, space, whatever. I think that would be a really interesting way to go. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it sounds interesting from what I have heard about the game. Something I just like. It's there. I own it. I just haven't gotten into it yet.
You have to try BioShock 1. BioShock 1 is it's like going back to me like with Skyrim. It's one of those like I'd say it's one of those essential games you have to like not necessarily love, but you at least have to kind of give it a try just to see what everyone's talking about. So yeah. We can kind of transition beyond this one if there's no other thoughts on this, because I think it dovetails really well into the Game Awards. So one of the rumors is that there might be a reveal of the new BioShock game at the Game Awards. But long and short, what's happening is that, this is coming from For the Win by Kirk McKeon. At one point, Jeff Keighley was known as a video game journalist, one especially telling this. So long story, I'm not going to read the whole article here, but long and short, it's just the idea is that there's going to be about Jeff Keighley is suggesting there's going to be 4 or 5 reveals on the scale of Elden Ring at the next Game Awards. So I thought we can kind of talk about what we think is going to be, what's going to be revealed at the Game Awards. So real quick, actually, Adam and I did this a couple weeks ago. I'm going to ask you real quick, did you look at the categories for the Game Awards?
Yes.
What do you think is going to get Game of the Year? We'll throw that. We'll leave it at that.
Okay. So I predicted on a previous podcast that it would be Ratchet and Clank. But
interesting.
Is Ratchet and Clank going to sweep the Game Awards? I don't know. I don't think It Takes Two is going to win.
You don't think so?
I don't think so, just because I feel like they're not going to give it to a smaller game.
Mm-hmm.
But with all the, I have a feeling that it could be Deathloop, because it's just been at every single event ever. They've always had something to show. And the week that it came out, it got so much press and praise for people being like surprised how good it was. Like they thought that people were going to be like burnt out from hearing about Deathloop. And I feel like that's probably going to win. But on a previous predictions podcast, I may have said that Ratchet and Clank.
Well, if it now comes out that it's not Ratchet and Clank and it is Deathloop, you can like have an addendum that like technically I, rescinded my vote and changed it. So
yeah, technically, it depends on what order you listen to the podcast.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Adam and I were both in agreement that we both think Deathloop is going to be the Game of the Year at the Game Awards show.
Okay.
Did you play Deathloop?
I haven't yet. That's another game I want to pick up. No,
so good.
That's something I want to play. I had it on my list, and then like because it kept getting delayed, it started coming out when things that I was already waiting for to come out had come out. So I haven't picked that up.
You definitely have to give it a shot.
My September was completely dedicated to playing Life is Strange: True Colors and Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah, I'm excited to play Kena Bridge of Spirits. I was waiting for the physical disc because I am, once again, an old man.
It's so cute. It's so adorable.
I'm so excited to play it. It looks so good. I can't wait to play it on like the PS5 on the 4K.
It's so cute. The cutest game of the year goes to Kena Bridge of Spirits. Not an award at the show, but I am.
I think it's gonna get art. I think it's gonna get art direction.
I think that has a good chance because it is a Pixar movie.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
One of the rumors that came out of it is that Rockstar reportedly will make a big announcement at the Game Awards to appease disappointed fans. Rockstar Games will win back fans' trust with an announcement. Do you
Well,
think Rockstar is going to be at Game Awards? And if so, what do you think we're going to see?
well, you're not going to see Grand Theft Auto 6 because it's not even in pre-production. That came out like a couple months ago, so you're not seeing GTA 6. What you're going to see is GTA 5 got delayed, so they're going to be like, this is what we're adding to GTA 5. You're going to get some GTA 5 online BS. That's what you're getting. If Rockstar's there, that's what you get.
You think so?
Yeah. I don't see them possibly showing anything outside of GTA 5. Like, I would like them to remaster the first Red Dead so that I can play it because I want to play the games in order, but I don't have a PS3 to like go and play it. So that's what I would like them to say. We're porting this to PC or bringing a remaster, but I honestly think that you are getting GTA 5 some edition to make you happy for all you GTA role players out there. That's
See, I don't think that's like when they said there's gonna be like a big announcement. I don't think that's it. I can see them doing like the whole GTA 5 thing where they just splash the logo and then everyone loses their mind. But like it's a weird spot because Rockstar is not in a good spot with fans right now. And I think coming out and being like, hey, we're doing another port, people are gonna kind of be like, really?
Did you get the definitive edition?
Of what?
The GTA
trilogy. No. Did you?
Do you want to know what my favorite like bug mechanic was in it?
What is it?
So in GTA 3, on a PC version of it, if you're driving the car and you wiggle the car back and forth,
I've seen this one.
Bigger and bigger.
It's so good.
That's my favorite bug, and I haven't picked it up. I knew something was wrong with it because they did not send copies to reviewers before the game released. So the day before, usually Metacritic will be like, here it is, but they didn't give anyone reviewers. And I saw one journalist like be asked on Twitter, like, why didn't you review it? And he's like, oh, because I had to buy my own copy. They didn't give anyone. So then when it came out with a user review of 0.5, lowest user review on Metacritic history, I wasn't surprised.
Yeah. No. I think, to be honest, I think what you're going to get, what I anticipate is I think you're going to get a PS5, Xbox, Series X kind of upgrade for Red Dead Redemption 2. So you'll have like 4K, 60 FPS or whatever upgrade for Red Dead Redemption 2, and it's going to be live today or something like that. And I think that's
a good optimistic view.
I think realistically, it's the only thing that they can do that will not take a huge amount of effort and time, because people will be like, why aren't you working on GTA 6?
Because people keep playing GTA 5 online and taking all of our money.
Well, that's the thing. I was like, maybe it's gonna be DLC, but I'm like, they don't make DLC anymore because it's all about the online world.
Yep. That's
and then if I'm doing
like another heist or something, you'd be like, look at this.
And I really hope it's not something like, hey, we're gonna remaster Red Dead Redemption, or we're gonna remaster Bully, because that did not go well with the definitive edition, and I don't think saying we're gonna do it again is gonna be helpful for them. So I think you're gonna see
port the mobile version to PC and think that's fine.
They made choices.
Yeah, people made choices that were poor.
I'm going to go through a couple here. I pulled up a thing with 5 rumored games revealed. 5 game reveals we hope to see confirmed at the Game Awards. So these are 5 rumors from Game Rant. You tell me whether or not you think these are going to happen. Okay. So I'll tell you the game and why they think it's going to be there. So Breath of the Wild sequel everyone is talking about. Their argument, Legend of Zelda fans think executive producer and host of Game Awards Jeff Keighley has hinted at the game's inclusion in the show in a recent tweet. Granted, the tweet is vague enough that it could be referencing a great number of games, but Keighley mentioned of a Game Awards world premiere of a game that has been in development for 2.5 years could quite possibly point to Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Confirm or rumor?
Well, was it a Nintendo Direct or was it last year at the Game Awards where they showed like a 30-second clip? And then they're like, coming next year or whatever. I think if Breath of the Wild 2 was shown, that is the only big thing that you would get. So I'm going to go with no. It's not happening.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen as well. Like, I think this is Nintendo's big flagship thing, and I don't think that they would give that to Jeff Keighley. Like, they could build a whole direct around that, and it would have everyone's attention.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a no on that.
I'm gonna go miss. Fable. So they wrote The Fable series was an Xbox exclusive franchise, blah, blah, blah.
Their
Fans
new
of the series,
studio is doing it.
yeah, fans of the series worried that this spelled the end for the Heroes of Albion, but hopes were reignited once more when it was rumored that a fourth game was being developed by Playground Games and that a new open world role-playing game was in development at the studio. Then in July 2020, during the Xbox Game Showcase, a reboot of the classic series was revealed to be in development. Although the release date is still very much TBC, to be confirmed, gamers know that the game will be coming to Xbox Series X and Microsoft Windows. They're also hoping for some news, more news of Fable during the Game Awards, potentially with more setting and plot details, perhaps even a release window. Fable.
Much higher chance than Breath of the Wild. If we're gonna rank them, I would say that's way more likely.
See, I don't. Once again, I don't know if it's going to be Fable. I could see maybe, and I'll tell you why I don't think that's in a second, because I figure you and I can kind of talk about what games we suspect are going to be there.
Okay.
Circling back to our previous conversation, BioShock. There have been a number of leaks already from rumors of 2 new city locations hinted at BioShock Isolation. There are several things that gamers have heard about the new game already, including an open world setting, faction systems, and it will be developed in Unreal Engine 5. Although a lot of these details are yet to be confirmed, a Game Award seems like perfect time for an official reveal. A more recent leak points to a new trailer dropping at the event, even if the release date may still be a way off. I think BioShock's going to be there.
I think it would make sense given the leaks that happened this week.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would be a very timely. If they had anything to say, I think that would be their best chance.
Yeah. World of Warcraft. So now another rumor has begun to circulate thanks to an alleged line of code found on the official Xbox website that shows a World of Warcraft Complete Edition in the upcoming section of the site set to be released on December 9th, the same day as the Game Awards. This unconfirmed leak could point to a potential announcement during the show related to the port from PC to consoles.
So they're gonna... Oh, sorry, continue.
Sorry. So, like they said, this unconfirmed leak could point to a potential announcement during the show related to the port from PC to consoles. So they're going to bring World of Warcraft to console. The rumor is still tenuous, and there has been a lot of skepticism in the gaming community as to its veracity, but there's no doubt if it's true, the news would be massive for the franchise.
I think that if they're gonna announce it and they're gonna be like, it's live right now. Like, that's kind of huge, bringing World of Warcraft to a console. I feel like that sounds like, I don't think it's gonna, if they announce or show anything, I don't think it's gonna come out immediately.
See,
also,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I feel like that's not really like, I feel like people on I've never been a World of Warcraft person, but I feel like it's really huge on PC, so I feel like it would make sense to move it to console, but I'm not sure about that.
See, I think this one does have some legs to stand on, in the sense that, you do have that leak from the Xbox website that is going to be going live on December 9th. But I think there was another article that had come out that had sort of said that Jeff Keighley was going to not invite or distance from Activision Blizzard because of the whole sexual harassment case and stuff, like all the crap that's been going on at Blizzard. But then they kind of double back and he's like, no, we're going to try and like limit, not have Activision there or anything, but still have them be like the games or something be part of it. So like, I think there is going to be something with, Activision Blizzard. And I think World of Warcraft makes a lot of sense for that.
So from my understanding, the games that they have that are nominated are going to be nominated, but no one from their like corporate entity will be at the Game Awards. So I don't know if that will extend to like announcements or anything though. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see. And then there's just a general one that that there's going to be a big reveal on the horizon for PlayStation. So video game data analyst Millie Amand has been responsible for some leaks in the past that have proven true, and their recent tweet about the Game Awards has gamers speculating anew. Although brief and frustrating and cryptic, a tweet referenced the award show with a hashtag for the PS5, along with a gif of an excited Monica from Friends, with Millie mentioning that this will be their reaction to the upcoming news. Fans have theorized that the inclusion of the famous Friends character could be a reference to Sony Santa Monica and the new sci-fi game being developed there, but players will have to wait until December 9th to get confirmation. Are we going to see anything from PlayStation there?
So this is my thing. We already have a date for Horizon. We've already had a 15 or 10-15 minute gameplay thing. They're already doing a podcast series about Horizon Zero Dawn, which I've been listening to. They've set a lot of the stuff, and I feel like if we get anything more from Horizon, it's going to be in January, and it's going to be like from Sony. So I'm
Mhm.
not expecting. I'm not expecting Horizon Forbidden West to be there. I'm not expecting God of War because that got a huge review at the last
Mhm.
State of Play, and I'm not. I'm just like I just don't think those two things will be there just because we've already seen chunks of it.
Yeah. I feel like we do know. The only thing I could see being revealed there would be like a Last of Us factions, and I think that
Please,
is overdue, right? Like
please.
it's been what, 2 years since The Last of Us Part 2, and
Yeah.
we still don't have factions. So I think if Sony was going to show something there, I think it is going to be factions.
I want tangible evidence that this game has actually had been worked on, even if it's like a logo, even if it's like 2022, anything, like something. Neil Druckmann, give me something, because they announced that it wasn't going to come with The Last of Us Part 2 because they wanted it to be a separate like thing. And I was like, that's fine. I don't mind. So like then The Last of Us Day came that year. We didn't get anything. And then The Last of Us Day came again and we didn't get anything. And I'm like, well, just like, they're like, we're working so hard. Well, like, show me. Just like, I'll take a logo. Like, I was telling my girlfriend, because I'm making her play The Last of Us Factions with me. So, and she's like, the gun mechanics are so dated. I was like, babe, but the second one's coming out. Like, it will be so good. Just wait. Like, just wait it out. So she's being a good sport about it. But I just want something tangible to know that this is actually something. If that is shown in any capacity, Game Awards made for me. That's all I need.
I think it would be a huge exciting announcement if it was there. So we've kind of gone through some of the rumors here. Like we said, Jeff Keighley said there's going to be about 4 or 5, Elden size ring announcements at the Game Awards. What games do you think are going to be showing up there? Do you want to go first, or do you need a second to compile your list? Because I can.
I feel like my list has been more of process of elimination. Like, I
Okay.
don't think we're gonna see like Horizon Forbidden West. I don't think we're gonna see God of War. What would Sony possibly show? At their last State of Play, they showed like a couple of things about different games from Insomniac. So if we were thinking something in lines of Sony, I feel like maybe something. I feel like Wolverine would be cool. We only saw like the cinematic for that.
Yeah, but that game's so far out.
I know, but like next month is 2022, and if that game was 2023, right? Or is that 20? Or is it 2024? If it's 2024, forget it.
I don't think it had a date, did it?
Was it Spider-Man that had a date then?
I think it was Spider-Man.
Then maybe, okay, then I'll think about Spider-Man then, because I feel like Insomniac's working on all these games, and if PlayStation was actually going to show something, I feel like it's going to come from them.
Sorry, my apologies. Wolverine, the developers have confirmed that it is slated for 2023.
Okay. There we go. So
I feel
I don't know. We only saw like the Spider-Man logo and like a very small cinematic from Wolverine. But if PlayStation's doing something big, I feel like it's gonna come from Insomniac.
See, I feel like Insomniac's worked to the bone. I think, like they said, we haven't seen what Sony Santa Monica is doing aside from God of War. We haven't seen what Bend is doing since Days Gone, which
a different IP. Yeah, they're not doing Days Gone 2. It didn't get like approved.
Yeah, I think last I heard they were working on a Men in Black game. But who knows? Like, Sony Santa Monica's been there for a while. I mean, we could see Gran Turismo, but I feel like Game Awards isn't really the audience for Gran Turismo.
Yeah, no. I don't care to see a racing game.
No. That doesn't mean they won't show it. I mean, I've seen the Game Awards a couple times. Just because you don't want to see it doesn't mean it's not there.
That's true.
Yeah, I can see factions being there.
I say that every time though, man. I say it every time. Where is it?
Same with like Sucker Punch. What has Sucker Punch been doing lately?
They released it, the Ghost of Tsushima director's cut.
Yeah, but they haven't done anything. Yeah, I guess they're chalked out at the moment. Yeah, I think that's it. In terms of Xbox, what do you think we're going to see from Xbox?
I can't say I'm very in tune with what Xbox does a whole lot, but from their showcase from the summer, what interests me most was the really funny cinematic trailer for The Outer Worlds 2 or whatever that's going to be. So personally, that's something I would like, but I can't say that I follow what Xbox does very closely.
See, I think for me, I think what we can expect from Xbox is Starfield, because that game is slated to come out what, January? Did it get pushed?
No, I think it's November next year.
Starfield. Oh yeah, no, they were a year out from that. I thought it was closer than that. Yeah, then that was my thought. That's what they were working on, but no, that is pretty far out.
Yeah, I think it's November next year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's November 11th, 2022. So that does raise an interesting question. What is Xbox doing? We could see Hellblade 2. I know they're working on that.
They did have a teaser for that in 2019 for the Game Awards.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, we had a teaser for The Wolf Among Us 2 that year as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the only time we've ever seen anything, and it was just like a teaser. It was like coming soon or like to be continued, and like where is that? And
that's been in development for 2.5 years, which is what Keeley suggested. So could be that.
I don't know if that would be Elden size, like ring size, but also I'm not really going to bat for 4 or 5 Elden Ring size things.
Yeah, you have to remember. Jeff Keighley is wonderful. Absolutely love him. He's a showman. Like he's one to hype up his products, and I totally get it. Like, do that.
He's a marketer.
He's a marketer, and that's what he's doing. So like when he says there's going to be 5 Elden Ring size games, who knows what that is? So
all about perspective.
There's going to be something there from Kojima, because like it's Jeff Keighley. Hideo Kojima is going to be there with something. And I think the other one that we might see, and this would be really cool to see, is Star Wars Force Unleashed 2. That's what I'm kind of like. That's my wish. So I'd like to see Star Wars Force Unleashed 2.
Okay.
Because that game has been in development for a while, and I think it's been confirmed that it's coming out, but we haven't seen anything about it yet. So I think this would be a great way to kind of drop it in and kind of be like, hey, we are working on this. So yeah.
I think something that could maybe go was that game called Abandoned that hyped itself up this summer, or it was like the game that starts with an S and ends with an L, and everyone's like, Kojima, Silent Hill, and then they're like, no, and then they released that like playable trailer, but it was a 4-second clip of something they already showed, and they're like, oh, technical difficulties, it got delayed, so I uninstalled the thing. But the other day I opened my turned on my PS5, and it was right there, and it was like, oh, the prologue is coming soon, so I feel like we might see something about that to save face.
I totally forgot that game was a thing.
Yeah, no, it blew up. Then they shit the bed, and then everyone was like laid low. And then I noticed that the other day, and then I was like, maybe we might see something to save themselves this Thursday.
That would be really interesting to see. And then, like I said, I think we're gonna get a Red Dead Redemption 4K 60 FPS enhancement thing, and that'll be their Rockstar's, but like contribution. Maybe. Yeah. Cool. Any other things that you're expecting for Game Awards? Any last minute predictions?
I just wish list Last of Us Part 2 Factions 2. That's just top of my wish list. A logo would suffice for me at this point. Realistic expectations, I kind of just want to go in and just like have fun. I have the pleasure of co-streaming it this year again, which was just so much fun last year. So It's just a night with me and my friends, and we drink and we made predictions. I made them all fill out like a Google form, and we just like keep track of who got what correct. So I'm just I'm just happy to just do that again.
That'll be awesome. Where are you gonna be streaming that online for people to watch?
Yeah, it's going to be on my Twitch channel at Obuyer10, and I'll be doing the pre-show at 7:30 Eastern Time, and then we're going to go for as long as it goes on. And if you want to make fun of what people are wearing, hype up the trailers, shit on the trailers, we're just there. Bring your own drinks and snacks.
Fantastic. Awesome. Yeah, I think we can wrap that up there. It'll be interesting to see. Like I said, Adam and I, we have our own list of who we think is going to win what, so it'll be interesting to see where that falls. Let's wrap it up. Liv, we've made some changes since the last time we were here. We have a new segment we play here called Trophy Stumpers. So what we do here is I will give you a list of trophy names from a particular game, and you have to guess which game it is.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
Is there like a genre or a platform? Is there like a hit? Oh, just give it to me. Give it to me.
Yeah, we'll just go along. I think this one was gonna be an easy one, but we're gonna see how it goes. No particular rhyme or reason. And it could be any platform, any game, but keep in mind it has achievements, so generally, it's going to be within the last 2 or 3 console generations. So I'll just kind of read them through, and then I typically have given Adam, I'll give you some hints if you need it along the way.
Okay.
So the first trophy name is Brass Balls.
Okay.
Okay. Next one is, let's see here if I can find a good one.
Are these from the same game?
It's all from the same game, yeah. So
okay.
Brass Balls. I chose The Impossible. A Man Chooses is the third trophy. Found Cohen's Room.
I'm trying to think of a game where someone's name is Cohen.
I'll give you some more here. Researched a Splicer.
Oh boy, I feel like I don't know. Researched a splicer. What is a splicer? Okay.
Hacked a vending machine.
God, I have no idea what this is. Okay. What letter does the game start with?
That's not how the game plays.
Oh, okay.
Fully researched bouncer.
What game do you play as a bouncer?
I didn't say you play as a bouncer. I said you researched bouncer.
Is this like a Hitman game?
Nope. Defeated Atlas.
Okay. I definitely did not play this game. So.
Okay.
Is it
Little Sister Savior?
I did not play this game. I can tell you that.
I feel bad picking this game.
No, is this a shooter game?
This is a shooter game.
I definitely didn't play it. Okay.
I'm just trying to see if I can find the last one. Tonic Collector.
Okay.
Became a Big Daddy.
Became a Big Daddy. This sounds like that makes me think Grand Theft Auto, but I don't.
You have Liv. I love you on the show. You have so many people yelling at you and listening to this podcast right now.
Yeah, no, it's a shooter game. Yeah, I feel like Cohen was a big giveaway, and I was like, I can't think of a game where someone was named
There's
Cohen.
actually been bigger giveaways than that, to be honest.
The Splicer? The Splicer thing?
No, the last one I gave you. Become a Big Daddy.
I think you trophy stumped me because I definitely didn't play this game.
So theoretically, I was trying to keep this thematic with this week's episode.
Can the voice in the sky come in for a moment?
Back, ladies and gentlemen, from doing special ops work for the CIA is Adam. Adam, welcome back to the show.
I feel like I'm just gonna flash my webcam for a moment, just so people know I'm here. I'm here now. Now you can go back to seeing Liv. I feel like this is a very unfair trophy list you brought up, because literally moments ago on this podcast, a certain somebody giving these questions said she'd never played this series before.
I know. I already had it set up, Adam. I felt terrible.
BioShock.
Yes, Adam. I set this up before the show starts, Adam. So when she's here and she's like, I never played the BioShock games, I was like, well, damn, this is going to suck.
Hence why I'm here, because as soon as I heard a man chooses, I'm like, uh-oh, she's in trouble.
Yes, Liv, I'm terribly sorry. I did not know you hadn't played this game, so yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like I might be one of the only people that haven't, but
yeah,
I was like, brass balls, I was thinking like, I was thinking Hitman, and then when you said Big Daddy, I was like, this sounds like some mafia thing. So then I was like, my whole train of thought was just all over the place. There, no shot.
You said I never played this. I'm like, Well, damn, this is gonna be a terrible trophy stumper. So,
You
maybe I
stopped
need
me,
to.
so you did what you should have.
Yeah, well, we did it, but not this way. Not this way.
By cheating.
Shameful.
I didn't cheat. I had it set up before the episode started, Adam. I can't. I don't do this live on the fly. Like I prepare, sir. I know it seems natural and flowing, but I do preparation before I get here, sir. You think I just randomly look at the game and just be like, I'll use that one? No, I choose the game selectively, sir. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Awesome.
All right, I'll go back to witness protection now.
Is that where? Yeah, it seems to be changing every time. Get your story straight.
Oh, that's how it keeps you on your toes.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, that about does it for us, Liv. Thank you so much for joining us once again. It is always a pleasure having you here. If people want to find you and get more, where can they find you?
If you are on any social media platform, type in obuyer10. If I come up, I'm there. Or if you can't find me there, then that means it's not there. I'm obuyer10 on everything. But if you want to find our show at Between Two Gamers, we're on all major podcasting platforms, and you can meet my British co-host, Fruey, the voice you don't hear because he is asleep when we tend to meet each other, right? Like
lazy Brit sleeping.
Yeah, I mean, oh god, it's 2:00 in the morning. What's he doing? He should be up.
He's not busy.
Yeah, who sleeps?
Exactly.
Gamers don't sleep.
That's what coffee's for.
No, they drink tea over there.
That's the least of the issues they got going on over there. As I sit here drinking my tea today.
Yeah, you can find us pretty much wherever. So if you're looking for some time to laugh, I got you. And
just to confirm, that's if they're looking for you, it's Between and then the number 2 Gamers, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. And ladies and gentlemen, if you liked what you heard here and you want to hear more, you can always find us by searching for Pixel Play Podcast wherever you get your podcasts, or on YouTube, Pixel Play Podcast. And we are all on our socials, Pixel Play Cast. It all our way. If they ever ask you, hey, just put in your email address, throw that one in there. Whatever. Doesn't matter. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. If this is your first time watching us, we hope it was good for you. It was certainly good for us. If you're one of our regulars, thank you so much for sticking with us. We truly appreciate it. And yeah, we will leave it at that. Thank you so much and have yourselves a great week. Enjoy the games and awards this week. Bye, guys.